Hello, everyone. We will be getting started with the live Q&A webinar shortly. We are going to wait just a minute or two to help ensure that everyone who has registered gets a chance to join. Then we'll start taking questions. In the meantime, feel free to open up the chat tool on your Zoom toolbar and let us know where you're joining from and what kind of work you oversee. It's always nice to get to know you a little bit better during these sessions. My name is Cara, and I am joined by my team member, Marie. We work on the onboarding team at When I Work, and our goal is to help get new users up and running with When I Work scheduling and attendance tools. Myself and Marie have both been with When I Work for a long time now, and we have seen accounts for a wide variety of workplaces and industries from all over the world. So no matter what your workplace needs are, I am sure our team has seen something similar and that we can help get you and your team set up for success. Thanks for everybody who's chatting in. Tessa in Salt Lake City, Utah, owner of a childcare and preschool center. Lori working at a dermatology office, small group of 7. Wonderful. We definitely have seen childcare, preschool centers, as well as other education use When I Work. So that's great. We're also really great at working with small groups of employees, larger workplaces. Akeem works for a medical office. Christopher, CPR and first aid training company. Very cool. Katrina from Minnesota, managed small hotel. Wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for chatting in. It was great to get to know you a little bit better. It looks like our attendees have leveled off a bit, so let's get started so we can be sure to fit as much into this session as we can. So I just want to welcome everybody again who just joined to our live Q&A session. We are excited to help you get started with When I Work. For the next about 30 minutes, we're going to be answering your questions about When I Work scheduling and attendance tools. We're going to show some ways that you can save time by creating the schedule, managing timesheets, and communicating with your team. We'll get to as many questions as we can during this time, but if your question does not get answered or you would like some further help, you can always chat with us after. We're going to provide some more information at the end of the session on how to get in contact with us, so stick around for that. But for now, let's get started with asking some questions. This session is centered around your questions, so to ask this one, click the Q&A button on your toolbar in Zoom and type out your question. Marie is going to be going through and asking some of those questions out loud so we can demonstrate them in our When I Work account. Also, depending on where we are in the session, she may also rearrange or type out some of the answers to questions to be sure we get to as many questions as possible. So with that, I am going to switch over to my When I Work account and give a quick overview of navigating the web app. So right now I am logged in as the main admin on the account. The person who starts the workplace account is listed as an admin. That just means that they have the highest level of access and they can manage employees, manage all of the settings on the account, and also manage the account and billing. So when you log in, you will be directed to the dashboard. This is a nice overview of everything that is happening within your account. At the top of the page, you have today's schedule to see who is assigned shifts. Next is the snapshot area where you can see how many people are currently clocked in, if there's anyone taking a break, if there's any open shifts that need to be filled, employees who have time off that's approved for that day, or if you have any shift requests that need to be addressed. Next is the attendance notices section. This is where you will find the last 7 days worth of alerts from the timesheets about employees who clocked in and out early or late, or maybe they had an assigned shift that they did not clock in or out for. In this section, you can view the details of the attendance notice and also edit the clock in and out times as needed. Next down, we have some graphs that are going to help you out. This is our coverage graph. It has assigned shifts and open shifts. In this section, you can see how many shifts you have for each position. And we also have an option to view shifts by job site as well if you are using the job sites feature in the account. Worked labored costs for the last 7 days. You can toggle between position and job site to see those labor totals and labor percentages to make sure you are on track with your labor costs. And then the pay period forecast chart, which will compare the scheduled hours taken from your scheduler and the worked hours taken from the timesheets to make sure that you are on track for your pay period. Next over, we have the scheduler. This is where you will assign shifts out to employees that you can then publish and notify them so employees can see those shifts within their profile. Next over is attendance. We'll start with the time tracker. This tool is great for seeing how those worked hours line up with assigned shifts on the scheduler. If somebody's shift is in progress, it will display in green. If a shift is completed for the day, it will show in blue. And then you can hover over the gray bar to see how those shifts measure up to what was assigned on the scheduler. We can also head over to the timesheets. This is where you'll spend most of your time when working with attendance. This is where you will record the worked hours for all of the employees on the account. Next over, we have Work Chat, which is our in-app messaging system. There are a few different settings that you can have in Work Chat depending on your workplace needs, but you'll always have this all workplace channel where you can make team announcements to everyone in the workplace account. You can also start one-on-one threads or maybe group teams together so you can get in communication with your employees. Next over is the request menu. From here, you can add time off from the account, process any time off requests that are coming in from employees, any shift requests. So that's those shift coverage options that we offer, whether that being swapping shifts or dropping shifts to a coworker, and then open shift requests, which is part of our shift bidding feature. Next over is our workplace menu. This is the who, what, when, where of the account. So you can come over to the employees page to manage all of your employee profiles. We have positions, which will designate the different roles or skills that an employee will work on during their shift. Tags, which is an additional layer of qualification that you can use to make sure employees are getting into the right shifts as needed. Schedules and job sites to manage your locations. Shift templates, where you can add shifts that you use over and over so they can quickly be applied to the scheduler. Our reporting section with our exports and automated reports. Task lists, where you can list off the different duties you want your employees to work on through the day. And documents, where you can store any important documents that you would like to share with your workplace. Next over under the gear is all of the settings for the account. General settings, scheduling settings, attendance settings, basically how you want the account to work. When I Work is very customizable, so I am sure we will get more into that as we go through the session. You can also set up any integrations from this menu, as well as managing your plan and billing. Lastly is the profile menu. So this is everything for your personal profile, whether that be your profile details that you would like to edit, accessing your personal schedule, personal availability, or managing your notifications in the alert preferences section. So with that, I am going to hop back over to the scheduler. We can get started with some questions.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Marie. I'm going through the questions today. So the first question in here is from Katrina. She says, can you have a multiple admin on the account?
Absolutely. So I am going to hop over to our employees page to help illustrate this. So whenever you add a profile to the account, you can select the role that you would like that employee profile to have. We have 4 different roles that you can assign. Admin is what I was mentioning before, where you have access to everything on the account, managing all of the schedules, all of the timesheets, all of the employees, the settings, and access to the account and billing page where the billing information is stored and the plan is selected. There can be up to 3 admins on the account as needed. The next level down from that is manager, which is access to everything that the admin has access to. So all of those settings, schedules, timesheets, but they do not have access to the account and billing page. Supervisor is the next roll down from that. This is really helpful if you have multiple schedules in the account. Maybe you want to split up your account by different teams, each team having its own schedule. Supervisors are only allowed to manage the employees' schedules and timesheets for the schedules that they are tagged to in their profile. So if I were to make Allison here a supervisor, she would only be able to schedule and manage employees for the Shifty's Coffee and Bakery schedule and no other employees. So this is great if you have those different departments and would like to keep everybody kind of separated out in their own department with a supervisor to manage a specific team or department. And then our last is employee. This is the kind of base level that everybody starts out as, where you can view your schedule, view your timesheets, request time off, and get in contact with your team using our communication tools.
Awesome. The next question is, there's two questions that kind of go together. One's from Tessa, one's from Elizabeth. Tessa asks, is there a clock in and out feature with reports for payroll? Do reports sync with QuickBooks Online? And Elizabeth also asks, can this be synced with QuickBooks?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to start with the clock in and out feature that is part of our attendance add-on to our small business scheduling plan. I'm going to hop over to our attendance settings because this shows some of the different clock in and out options that we offer. So the first of which is probably the most popular because of the flexibility and responsibility that it offers to employees, is clocking in with the mobile app. So if this is enabled, employees will download the When I Work app on their Android device or iOS device. And when they do that, they will see a clock in, clock out button on their dashboard that they can use to clock into their shift for the day. You can also turn on location restrictions to ensure that employees are clocking in or clocking out from the correct location. And you can also set how close the employees need to be to that scheduled location in order to have a successful clock in. Our next option is personal computer. This will make it so employees will log into their profile on their computer. This is especially helpful if you have maybe an office job where everybody is at their own desk with their own computer. This way they can log in, hover over the attendance menu, and select clock in to clock in and out for their shifts. Our last option is most like a traditional time clock in that you will set it up in a central location for all employees to clock in and out on, and that is our time clock terminal option. You can lock a computer as a time clock terminal from this option under the attendance menu here. We also have a time clock terminal app for both Android and iOS, where you can lock a certain mobile device as a time clock terminal. So once it's locked as a time clock terminal, you'll see a screen that looks like this, and employees can enter in the email address in their profile or an employee ID, which is set in the advanced details section of the profile, to clock in and out on this one central device. So once employees clock in and out, their times will be recorded on timesheets in the timesheet section here. Once you are ready to close out your pay period and send that information to payroll, you'll press close period. Any missing entries will be highlighted, and this is a great way to check your timesheets for accuracy against what is on the schedule. So I'm not going to go through and address all these right now, but I do have a closed pay period here. So once the pay period has been checked for accuracy and is closed out, you will see this summary of your pay period. From there, you can press export period hours, where you can download the pay period summary as an Excel file, or set up a payroll integration to send those pay period hours to your payroll provider. So if you do have the integration hooked up, your desired integration, that is, you will see another button here that says send to ADP, send to Gusto, send to QuickBooks. And I am going to pop over to our integrations page so we can see all of the different integrations we offer for sending pay period hours. We have ADP Workforce Now, ADP Run. I think the question was specifically about QuickBooks. Our QuickBooks integration is specifically with QuickBooks Online Plus. And if you have any questions about setting up the integration or if this integration works for you, you can definitely reach out to us, which we will show you how to do at the end of the session. But we also have a great Help Center article that has everything that you need to get started with that integration. So within your account, press Need Help, then press View Help or use this search bar to search for QuickBooks, and you'll find that article that shows how to set up and get started with the QuickBooks integration.
Cool. All right, our next question is on our scheduler. Lori asks, how far out can you create a schedule for employees? Can you show us an example? So I think going over scheduling in advance and maybe some scheduling tips and tricks would be great here.
Fantastic. Yeah. So everything that has to do with assigning shifts is going to be over on your scheduler on the toolbar. So with our free trial and with the paid plan, you can schedule as far out in advance as you like. I've seen people schedule out several years in advance and just publish it as they go. So there is no limit to how far out you can schedule. So on the scheduler, you can hover over a blank cell and press that to add a shift. If you have any pre-made shift templates on the account, any that will fit the employee's qualifications will display first, and you can pick one of those to quickly add those to the scheduler. You can also create a custom shift from scratch if you do not have a shift template that meets your needs, where you can enter in all the details from scratch. So if you have a repeating schedule or a schedule that you would like to schedule out in advance, we have a few tips on how to create schedules quickly and efficiently within When I Work. The first of which is copying the previous week. So this is great if you have a consistent schedule week to week and you just want to press a couple of buttons to get those shifts into the next week on the scheduler. So I have some shifts here. I'm going to clear these out to help show what I mean. So let's say I want to recreate last week's schedule exactly how it was. I am going to click the wrench menu. I am going to select copy previous week. We have a few different options of how to apply those shifts. Allow conflicts will apply everything just as it was the week before. Avoid conflicts means that if there is already a shift in your view that would be duplicated or overlapping with another shift from the week that you're copying from, that will pop any overlapping shifts into the open shift section so you don't have any double shifts. Overwrite conflicts will overwrite any of those conflicting shifts. And then copy into the open shifts. We'll take everything and put it into that open shifts row. That is a great option if you are using our auto assign tool. But for now, we're just going to allow conflicts because we don't have any shifts in this week. Copy, and that applies the previous week's worth of shifts to your current week in your view. From there, you can make sure everything looks good and then publish and notify out to your staff. So if you have a schedule that you don't want to just apply to the next week on the scheduler, you would like to apply it maybe to a previous week or a week that is a few weeks out in the future, in that case, I would suggest using schedule templates. This allows you to basically take a snapshot of the schedule as it is on your screen that you can then apply to any week. So to do that, press that handy wrench icon again and save as new template. From there, you can name it, add a description if you'd like, and press Save Template. Then you head over to whichever week you would like to apply that template to. Let me clear this out again so we can see a nice fresh week. Here we go. You'll hit that wrench and select Load Template. From there, you can select from your templates. and apply to any week. All right. And then publish and notify out to your employees when you are ready for them to see that. And then the last way that you can create a repeating schedule or just kind of put the scheduling process on autopilot is our repeating shifts option. So this is an option that allows you to repeat individual shifts on the scheduler rather than taking a snapshot of the whole schedule. So as you are creating a shift, click the little repeat shift check box, and that will open up our options. You can repeat the shift every week up to every 6 weeks. I've seen this be really helpful for the medical industry where you have rotating schedules. You can help build this out. Maybe you have a rotation that every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and then you can choose an end date anywhere up to a year in advance.
Awesome. All right, our next question, we have 2 people asking pretty similar questions. And it is if you can add a PDF attachment to a schedule or shift or job site, so an employee knows any information that they need on their shifts.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you are creating a shift, we have this option for shift notes. You can add any notes that you would like in there, whether this be like a link to Google Docs or anything like that. And that will appear right with the shift details that the employee sees when they're looking at the shift, either on a computer or through the mobile app. We also have this documents feature where you can upload any documents that you might want to share with the employees that are working. You'll upload a document, and then we will provide you with a link to that document that you can put right into the shift notes, and the employee can open that document and look at it through their mobile app.
Awesome. All right, the next question, still on the scheduler, is how can I split my larger department into smaller teams? I work for a healthcare agency.
Awesome. That is a wonderful question. So we have a few different ways to manage this within When I Work. The first would be multiple schedules. I'm going to hop over to the schedules page here. So at its core, a schedule is a way to group employees into one scheduling grid on the scheduler. This is really helpful if you have different teams or departments that you would like each department to have their own scheduling grid that they manage. So for me, I just have one on this account called Shifty's Coffee and Bakery, and all of my employees are assigned to this schedule, so they are all on one scheduling grid. I have another account set up here that I want to show you real quick that will illustrate how an account with multiple schedules would look like. So on this account, I have my coffee shop and bakery that is split into my different locations. As you can see on the Northeast schedule here, we have everyone scheduled out, and I can switch between my different schedules using the schedule menu in the left sidebar. So something really nice about using multiple schedules is if you have an employee who works on multiple teams or multiple locations, you'll be able to see any shifts that they are scheduled for at another location in the background. So this can help prevent double scheduling of shifts. I'm going to switch back over to my single schedule account here so we can talk about job sites. Our second option for managing locations or teams or even projects is job sites. So job sites are an optional way to specify the location of a specific shift. So you will add, I'm going to hop over here actually to the job sites page where you add any job sites that you have. And once added, you can then tag an individual shift to any of your job sites. So this is really nice if you have one scheduler, you want to keep everyone on the same scheduling grid, but you want to specify different locations. I've also seen people use this to track different projects or equipment or clients if you're working in caretaking. One great thing about job sites is using the job sites filter to narrow down to see what is happening at each individual job site. So if I were to choose the park job site, I will see all of the shifts that are scheduled at the park. And same for the mall. And select all. So we're back to our full schedule here.
Okay, the next question is from Sarah. She says, I heard that When I Work has an availability tool so my employees can input when they prefer to work. How does this work?
Great question. This is one of my favorite features within When I Work because it allows employees to really take accountability of their schedule and get scheduled for the hours that they prefer. So it's really a benefit to both employees and managers while creating the schedule. So employees are able to submit availability preferences, either preferring to work or being unavailable to work from their computer or any of the mobile apps. You can also submit availability on behalf of employees by heading to the employees page and clicking this little circled check mark in the actions column to jump to their availability calendar. From there, you can add those preferences. We can set a certain time or have it be all day. You can also set these to repeat and repeat up to a year in advance. So when employees set those will appear in the scheduler so you can work around those preferences as you are scheduling. If an employee has a part day unavailability preference, you will see a gray flag, in the top corner, and you can hover over that to see the different unavailable times that they have submitted. As for availability, you will see this green prefer to work flag, and you can hover over that to see the preferred times. In addition, as you are adding shifts to the account, let me delete this one so we get a better view of that. So as you're adding shifts, you will see the shifts that are part of take place during the employee's prefer to work preference, these highly preferred shifts. So you can schedule employees for when they want to be scheduled, but you're also not limited to just those. You can see all templates and schedule on top of those availability preferences. If an employee is unavailable all day, you will see a block that says unavailable. You can still schedule a shift during this time if needed, because these are just preferences. If an employee needs a guaranteed day off, they will want to submit a time off request instead so they can get that approved and they can ensure that they have that day off.
Awesome. I love that availability tool. The next question we have really quickly is from Adam, and he says, how do open shifts work?
Great question, Adam. This is a really great feature for allowing employees, again, to have that flexibility to choose their own hours. It's a sort of self-scheduling tool. So up here, you will see the open shifts row in green. You'll want to add all of the shifts that you want covered for your time range into that area, and then you can publish out the open shifts for employees to view and pick up. So an employee will be able to view the open shift and pick it up and have it assigned to them on the scheduler if they are assigned to the same position as the shift, if they're not already working or having approved time off during that shift, or they're not hidden in the scheduler. So for this Sunday shift, all of my baristas who are available from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. will be able to see that shift and pick it up from either their profile on a computer or the mobile apps.
Awesome. The last couple questions we had that I saved till the end were about our pricing structure, if I haven't already typed back to you all, so we can go over that.
Wonderful. All right, I am going to head back to our presentation here so we can go over some details about our plans. So at the beginning of 2021, we consolidated our plans to include everything in just two plans, our small business scheduling plan and our enterprise plan. So our small business plan includes everything, all of the scheduling features that we went over today. So access to the scheduler, team member availability, communication tools like work chat, notifications, as many schedules and job sites as you would like, and some of those more advanced features like auto scheduling, task management, and shift bidding. The small business plan is often a good fit for workplaces with less than 100 employees. But if your workplace exceeds 100 employees, we do have that enterprise plan available with all of the same features of the small business scheduling plan, in addition to features that were specifically designed to accommodate larger teams. So features like single sign-on and global privacy or access to our open API. So if you are interested in any of those features or you expect your employee base to be over 100, feel free to reach out to us after the session and we can provide some more information on the enterprise plan. If none of those enterprise features are necessary for you and your team, you can also use our small business plan beyond 100 employees. There's not a hard cap on that plan. We just want to be sure that we offer those enterprise features for larger accounts as needed. So the small business scheduling plan, and then we have our attendance product that is an optional add-on to that scheduling plan. So that attendance plan includes all of the time tracking features that we went over, like timesheets, access to any of the clocking methods, GPS location enforcement for clocking, different break options, custom timesheet exports, and access to any of those integrations, all included in the attendance add-on. So if you log into your account on the web, you can mock up a price for your plan by heading to the account and billing page found under the gear menu on the toolbar. On that page, press upgrade my account, then check out to activate. There on the modify account screen, you can select the number of user spots you would like to enable, turn on attendance if you are interested in the attendance add-on, and mock up your pricing. By default, we offer a monthly billing cycle, but we do have a switch to turn on for annual billing. You can enable that to pay upfront for a year of service. The annual billing cycle does provide a 5% discount compared to monthly billing. So that is a great option to save a little bit if you are looking to use When I Work long term. If you have any questions about what plan is the best fit for you and your team or any of the features that we provide, do not hesitate to reach out to us on chat. You can access chat by pressing the chat icon in the bottom right of your account. And you can also get a hold of us by emailing gettingstarted@wheniwork.com. We also have this great need help section on the side that will give you access to our help center with articles on anything you could ever imagine you would want to do within the When I Work account. We also have a link to our training center, which has some guides and videos for getting started with When I Work, whether you're an employee or a management level user. So Marie has also sent a list of resources into the chat section that we used earlier to get to know you all a little better. Feel free to copy and paste that into a Word document or a Notes app to save it for later. That list has some more information on getting started, our plans and pricing, and training resources. So I just want to wrap up today by saying thank you so much for joining us and for all of your fabulous questions. And again, do not hesitate to reach out to us if you need anything. Our team is here to help. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Tuesday.